December 7th, 1941. 6 Japanese carriers launch hundreds of planes toward Pearl Harbor. Bombs detonate magazines, torpedoes rip through holes, and the USS Arizona explodes with a lousy... It's one of the darkest days in American history. But let's change one thing. Moored at the entrance to Pearl Harbor is something no one understands. A 9,700-ton Arleigh Burke destroyer. First, let's look at what exactly we just dropped in 1941. She cuts through water at 35 miles per hour, faster than any battleship in Pearl Harbor. Her crowning jewel is the SPY-6 radar system. Below deck, 96 vertical launch cells hold an arsenal that would make Zeus jealous.
Tomahawk cruise missiles that can delete a building from 1,000 miles out. For point defense, she's got a 5-inch gun that fires GPS-guided shells.
But this still won't be easy, and Admiral Chuichi Nagumo is making sure of that. His strike force includes 6 fleet carriers, and their wings carry 353 aircraft flown by Japan's elite pilots. Among them are the legendary Zeros. They oxed. They built scale models, studied photographs, and fleet practice runs until muscle memory took over. 5:30 a.m. Japanese pilots warm their engines 230 miles north of Oahu. Inside the Jack H. The ship's Aegis combat system saw in heart bath. Another Zero disintegrates.
Then another.
Pilots break formation, searching desperately for an enemy they can't see.
The sneak attack has backfired long before they reach the front gates. The SM-6s keep coming. Supersonic death launched from beyond the horizon.
"20 bombers become 10, 10 become 5. The survivors finally release torpedoes, but they're too far out and are neutralized.
The destroyer's phalanx CIWS activates, a metallic scream that the ocean shouldn't hear for at least another 20 years.
"7:45 a.m. The first wave is decimated. Of 183 planes, maybe 40 make it past the destroyer.
They arrive over Pearl Harbor to find an angry fleet who were alerted over an hour ago. Every anti-aircraft gun is manned. Instead of sitting ducks, the Japanese find a hornet's nest. But the real joke is that the Japanese don't know this. With radios jammed, the survivors can't report back. And launches a second wave as planned. Another 170 planes sent flying straight into an invisible trap.
The Jax Lucas has reloaded her ready cells. This time, she's not alone. American fighters vector in using the destroyer's data, and the sky over Pearl becomes a shooting gallery.
The second wave loses 80% of its strength before even reaching the harbor.
Heroes burst in the flames. Dive bombers tumble from the sky. Torpedo bombers disintegrate into aluminum confetti.
By 9 a.m., the destroyer has already finished what it's been delivered, so it's ready to go hunting. Data linking target coordinates back to the ship. The Japanese fleet is 200 miles out. 6 carriers, 2 battleships, and dozens of escorts.
Jack launches her Tomahawks. 8 cruise missiles that skim the waves at 500 miles per hour. Akagi takes 2 missiles amidships and breaks in half.
Kaga's aviation fuel detonates in a fireball, visible from space.
Soryu and Hiryu burn like Viking funeral ships. Admiral Nagumo watches his fleet die.
The surviving Japanese ships flee west at maximum speed, their radios screaming about invisible planes and God-sent thunder.
But nobody hears them.
The destroyer still hasn't given them permission to communicate, so their radios lie silent.
By noon on December 7th, Japan has lost 4 fleet carriers, over 300 aircraft, and thousands of their best naval aviators.
American losses are minimal. It's nothing like the devastation in our timeline. The Pacific Fleet is intact.
The war just started with America holding all the cards. The Jack H. Lucas only carries so many missiles, but she's still changed everything.
The Japanese have lost their best pilots. Their carrier striking power is gutted, and American morale is through the stratosphere.
The war in the Pacific might end 2 years early. The atomic bomb might never need to drop, and millions might live who otherwise wouldn't.
Or what do you think would happen? And if you're curious what would happen if a modern jet fought at Midway, check out the video on screen now. Thanks for watching.
If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell for more content.
Up next, could a modern jet have changed the Battle of Midway? Click here to watch more on this fascinating topic.
Thanks for watching. Discover more insightful content on our channel. Follow us on social media for updates and more content. Visit our website for additional resources.
Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you again soon.
June 1942. Just 6 months after Pearl Harbor, the vast Pacific Ocean.
America, reeling from the devastation, had only a handful of carriers available for a desperate defense. The stakes couldn't be higher.
But what if we dropped a modern F-35 Lightning II stealth fighter into the skies over Midway in 1942?
This 5th-generation fighter jet would be completely invisible to 1942 radar. Stealth technology unheard of in that era.
It flies at Mach 1.6, twice the speed of sound, with avionics that process battle data in milliseconds.
And it carries AMRAAM missiles, capable of hitting targets over 100 miles away, far beyond visual range.
The first wave launches, a swarm of dive bombers and torpedo planes, heading for Midway Atoll.
But unseen, a single F-35 patrols, its sensors picking up the entire Japanese formation, hundreds of miles out. From beyond visual range, the F-35 unleashes its AMRAAMs. These 1940s warbirds have no idea what's coming.
Fighters and bombers simply cease to exist. Japanese pilots, isolated by jammed radios and unaware of an unseen enemy, fall into chaos.
With the aerial threat neutralized, the F-35 turns its attention to the Japanese fleet, still miles away and completely unaware.
Precision strikes cripple the carriers, igniting parked aircraft and their fuel. The heart of the Japanese fleet bleeds.
Admiral Nagumo watches his powerful fleet turn to burning wreckage, utterly unable to comprehend the source of the devastation.
Crippled and demoralized, the Japanese fleet begins a desperate retreat. The F-35 has rewritten the Battle of Midway. With their carriers largely intact and forewarned, the American fleet now holds all the cards. The Battle of Midway becomes a crushing American victory, drastically shortening the Pacific War. How else might history be changed?